If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything that you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or let it slip?
Everything great and worthwhile in human life is an accumulation of hundreds and sometimes thousands of tiny efforts and sacrifices that nobody ever sees or appreciates.
There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win. And all they need is some coaching. All they need is some help and assistance, just a little support. All they need is some insight or different strategy or plan of action to make some adjustments that will open up the key to a whole new future for them, that will give them access to the unlimited power that they have within themselves. That's all that they need. So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you, that's real for you, that's important for you, that will give your life some special meaning and power.
Everything accumulates over time, that you may have to put in many, many tiny efforts that nobody sees or appreciates before you achieve anything worthwhile.
Like the average man has inspired no one. Think about that. The average man inspires no one. Why would you live an average life, or why would you expect an average life of your kids? You wouldn't. And therefore, why would you be okay with accepting average or mediocrity for yourself? So many people out there struggling and wanting more, having the desire to achieve more, the ambitions, but never really achieving it because you simply do not know how to break the seal. And the seal is your limiting beliefs.
It's up to you. The ball's in your court. No more around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't help you. Only you can help you. Grab your balls, get a notebook, and write down what the you're gonna do this year. And this is it. You're not gonna have these problems. The drugs, the cigarettes, that dumb. It all starts fucking today. All right. No more excuses. This is the year of the soldier.
Remember this, nothing worth doing ever, ever, ever came easy. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack the same courage to do what is right, and they know what is right, but they don't have the courage or the guts or the stamina to take it and to do it.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. No. When you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts. And it's all going on the plus side of your ledger. But when you watch television, waste time, hang out, fool around, and so on, all of that counts as well. And it's going on the negative side of your ledger. A person who has a great life by the law of accumulation is a person who's accumulated far more credits, more pluses on the credit side than debits on the debit side. And here's an important point. If what you are doing is not moving you towards your goals, then it's probably moving you away from your goals.
The moment you drop that e-brake on your life, that's the equivalent of you giving yourself permission, saying that I don't have to let this be my story. Like whatever you went through, whatever mess you went through does not have to be the message of your life. It is time for you to drop the e-brake. It is time for you to start doing the self-development, personal development, self-work. It is time to take the responsibility in your hands and not blame your parents, not blame the absence of dad, not blame the absence of not being born here.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Complain, point at your circumstances, give up your power, blame the government, blame the economy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard to make a radical change in your behavior. It's hard to take ownership. It's hard to swallow the bitter pill that wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. As hard. As hard. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
You have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people are like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you this damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what it takes.
Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
And you got to get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's got to be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you got to pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times.
Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that. Everyone hears that. But Rome also didn't fall apart overnight either. It took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak, but it also took time, hundreds of years, for Rome to decay and fall apart. And that is representative of life, because you don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time. They take struggle. They take relentless pursuit day in and day out. That's what it takes.
It's easy to give up. You know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
I became obsessed with being the baddest mother that God ever created. Am I that? I don't care. I believe it. And I was trying to tell him, once you become obsessed with something, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say, you gotta be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do, it's not about being a Navy SEAL, people. The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. And then you help other people become better from you being the best in the world. So if your family doesn't understand, why are you so daggone crazy? Because I'm trying to be the best I can to give you the best that I am. And it takes being obsessed to where people think you're crazy.
You are behind. You off for 7 years. You are behind. You should have anxiety, and you should have urgency, and you should want to go. And you shouldn't try to run from that anxiety, because that anxiety is telling you, hey bro, it's time to get your gear. It's time to get going. Whatever it is that you want out of your life, make that start happening, and that's going to require you to become the best version of you, which means staying sober, which means getting fit, which means getting educated, which means stopping filling your mind with mindless and start filling your mind with that's going to make you better. And if you do these things and you go out every single day and you check off win after win after win after win, you'll be able to catch up to everybody else pretty quick. Because while everybody else may not have been off the way that you have been, they still only go half speed. So if they're going half speed and you can pick it up to actually execute at full speed, you'll catch and pass those people.
Here's the truth. This is the reality. Nobody's going to believe in you until you've already done it. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long time by yourself with no applause, with no awards, with nobody telling you good job. And then once you start to build something and people start to see the momentum and they start to see the result and you start doing some things, then you're going to get a little belief. And then what's going to happen is you're going to believe. And then what's going to happen? You're going to go do a little bit more work and a little bit more work. Results are going to come more. More people are going to believe. Nobody believes in you because you haven't done anything yet. That's the reality.
The perception that people have of ultimate success and ultimate happiness is, it seems motivated by what they don't have, rather than an understanding of what success and happiness really is. Their idea is that one day I'm going to go and I'm going to be in my golden years and I'm just going to be able to sit around and do nothing and tell everybody to off. You won't be happy at all.
I talked to one of the people that I was working with who had a vision for retirement. I said, well, what's your vision for retirement? Well, I see myself in the beach, some tropical country drinking margaritas. And I thought, first, that's not a plan. That's a travel poster. It's like, okay, let's walk through this. All right, so you go down to this tropical country and you go sit on the beach and you have a margarita. It's like, okay, well, how many margaritas? Like 10? Okay, so gonna do that, gonna do that for 6 months?
You'll be dead.
Yeah, well, you'll be this pathetic, sunburned,
fat.
Yeah, unhappy, hungover, cirrhotic.
In pain.
Yeah, it's like that's your vision.
Dehydrated.
So how long can you have a margarita on a beach?
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, it's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you can't Google that, man. There's several days I don't want to do shit. I procrastinate like a mother. This is one of those days, man. I put my shoes and my socks and my shorts on every day. Woke up this morning and just stared at them. Didn't want to do, didn't know why I was doing it. A lot of times we forget just how bad we are. So what I do, and I've done for so many years, I write down. I've been writing, so this book right here, this is just about 3 years.
It's high, the way I look at it within myself. Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that? I think I work hard. I think I dedicate myself to the game and sacrifice a lot of things at a young age. And I know that if I continue to do good, what I can get out of it. And if that's me going now, doing whatever, I'm willing to do it because I know that in the long run, it's going to help.
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. Everything's not always about winning and losing. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
It's real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no days off. There's no, not willing to grind and, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining that a lot of people do these days. It's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there.
The stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're going to do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring, I think in large part. So stress doesn't come, people get stress wrong all the time, in my opinion. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it, And likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work, but you're going through, a disciplined approach of, a series of job interviews and so on, and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.
I started making it up through pain.
Tell them what that is. Where'd you go?
So basically, the 40% rule is, I am a strong believer that we quit. Because why? How the is a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. So there's no way in hell that was in me, but that guy was in me. When that guy came down here and said, hey, guess what, man? You're a fat, but I'm gonna now make you a bad. I'm gonna miracle this to be a bad. No, it was in me. I had to believe and make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that. So the 40% rule is like we have like a car. Some cars have a governor on it. And when you get to like 92 miles an hour, that car will start doing this because it can't go any faster. Those cars that don't have governors on, like a fast, whatever, Porsche, whatever.
Like, I felt this before having the trophy around my neck. It's the journey, it's the experience, it's knowing that you pushed past times where you wanted to quit. And you got done. You pushed through it. So to everyone out there whose dreams are scaring you, whose dreams make you want to quit, just don't quit. It's good. Your dreams should be big. They should be scary. Just keep pushing through. I have this thing I say, champion mentality. It's not about winning. It's not about a trophy. It's about having no quit. It's about giving everything you have so that when you show up on game day, before the results are over, you're proud of yourself and you know the work you put in.
Slaves worked all the hours they were awake for their entire lives. In American history, in Egyptian history, in the rest of the world that had slaves, which is most of the world at some given point. I think, like, if they can do it, so can I. Now you're like, well, did they have a happy existence? Well, they didn't get to pick the work they did, but it means that you can work. That's if you have the cap behind you. You can work every hour of the day. I'm like, well, if you get to have the cheese and you get to eat the cheese the whole way you're going, then, I mean, there's the famous quote, the person who loves walking walks further than the person who loves the destination, right? And so, like, I think it's the same thing, but so many people want to project their idea of what they think your life should be like onto you. And it's just completely irrelevant. It just doesn't matter. Like, if all I did, if I weren't married, right? Because people are like, okay, well, he is married, and like, I am in shape.
I heard this quote the other day that I want to share with you guys. Now, I'm paraphrasing here, but it goes like this, is the person who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how they feel, will always beat the person who goes to the gym when they feel like going to the gym.
Never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning.
Once a journalist asked the CEO, what is the secret to your success? The CEO replied, 2 words. The intrigued journalist asked, what are they? The CEO said, good decisions. Now the journalist wanted to question further, and how do you make good decisions? The CEO said 1 word, experiences. The journalist then asked, how do you get experience? The CEO replied 2 words, and the journalist said, what are they? The CEO replied, bad decisions. They say it takes 10, 20, 30 years to become an overnight success. There is no one out there that you see today achieving things, becoming successful, winning awards that hasn't made bad decisions, that hasn't had bad moments, that hasn't had bad experiences. It's when we're treading uncertain paths that we find lessons that will help build our future. It's when things aren't going to plan that we find there are new opportunities than we ever saw before. We spend so much time just trying to avoid making bad decisions that we stop ourselves from moving in the right direction. When we try to avoid making bad decisions completely, we often just get stuck and become paralyzed and end up doing nothing and making no decisions. You can only know whether your decision is good or bad in hindsight. And remember, failure is an event and not a person.
Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you. Every day was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.